Alright people, this is Joshua, Future Filmmaker 3940, giving you guys my review of Halloween Kills. This is going to be a completely spoiler-free review, not giving away anything. This is the sequel to the 2018 film. It's the 12th entry in the Halloween series. Stars, of course, Jamie Lee Curtis, Judy Greer, Andy Masiak, James U. Courtney, and some returning players from the original film, as well as Anthony Michael Hall. This came out yesterday, October 15th. It is directed by David Gordon Green, and in the sequel to Halloween Kills, it picks up exactly where the last movie left off, with Laurie Strode, Karen, and Allison going to the hospital. And not only they go to the hospital to stay, to make sure that Laurie is alright, but also Michael is going on full-blown rampage after being burnt alive and escaping from Laurie's house at the end of the last movie. And not only that, but also Laurie, her daughter, her granddaughter, and Tommy Doyle, some returning characters from the last movie, and the entire mob of Haddonfield wants to seek revenge on Michael Myers and put an end to his bullshit once and for all. As I'm gonna be as spoiler free as possible with this. When it comes to the Halloween series, I am a fan of the Halloween movies. Of course, the original is a classic. Some of the sequels are hit and miss. I like some of them. I really don't like Halloween 5. Halloween Resurrection is a guilty pleasure, despite how being bad it was. And I will say I loved the 2018 movie. I thought it was a pretty good movie. It was awesome. It got the franchise back on track, in my opinion. And I was excited to see what they're going to come up with for Halloween Kills, especially with the same team and the same cast coming back. And not only that, we were going to have Halloween Ends in the same year, 2020 to 2021. But of course, the movie got delayed for half a year, and of course, we now have it on Peacock and theaters, and I was very enthusiastic to see how this would go, and here's are my thoughts on Halloween Kills. Going in right into the positives, I do have to give credit to, of course, how this movie was able to tie in to the 1978 original, and I won't spoil how, but it's in the opening scene, which I thought the way it was done, I like the tie-ins not only to that movie, but also to this newer film from 2018. It ties itself up very well in a way that you very much would fully expect. And if you are definitely a Halloween film fanatic, I think you'll be pretty pleasant with that. I like how they did it and how it connects everything together from both of those movies alone. I will also say that what I do once again, David Gordon Green, his directing mostly is very good. I do like the idea of the townspeople and the mob of Haddonfield wanting to go after Michael because they're just too fed up with his crap, as any town will be, because rarely in most of these movies is mainly either Michael versus Laurie or Michael took it into a new direction. And I applaud it for that, and I actually really respect it for that. It did take a risk, and this is where I will say that some of the Halloween fans are not gonna like this, and I've seen a lot of criticism that it focuses way more on the mob and how their reaction goes, and how Michael is basically making the entire town feel like that they are crazy. I do appreciate that aspect of the movie. Camera wise, cinematography wise, this is a visually gorgeous movie. The movie's only $20 million and budget, and this movie has great camera shots, some great camera angles, especially the scene that you see in the trailer with Michael coming out of the burning house with holding that weapon he had in his hand and just killing people. I thought the way it's shot, the way it's lit, the way it's framed is very visually pleasing. John Carpenter and Cody Carpenter's score, which is his son, their score is once again great. I do love the score. Is not as good as 2018 score, but I think the new additions here that they did do, I was very much impressed with how they were able to take it and just made it very enthusiastically awesome. Of course, the acting from Jamie Lee Curtis in the cast is good. Jamie Lee Curtis, despite the fact that she is a little bit sidetracked in this movie, a little sidelined, she does a great job once again as Laurie Strode. She, of course, does do what she can because she is mainly in the hospital for a majority of the movie. But with Jamie Lee Curtis, she's great as a character. It's been consistent. Judy Greer as Karen, her daughter. I liked her in the last movie, and once again, I liked her here in this movie. I will say, I don't like what they did with her towards the end of the movie, which I'm not going to spoil, but I thought her performance was very solid. But my favorite performance of the movie was Andy Machiak as Allison, the granddaughter. I thought she was my favorite performance in the movie. She really stepped her game up. There is one scene in particular involving her towards the end of this movie where she is like, she's fully committing herself to it. Also, the rest of the cast, like Nancy Stevens and the original actress who played Lindsay Wallace and Anthony Michael Hall, all great. But we gotta talk about Michael himself. James Jude Courtney, he outdid himself from the last movie. He is no holds barrel, batshit evil. He is pure freaking evil. And a lot of the petitions that are going around saying that he should not be killing firefighters stuff, get out of here with that. This is a Halloween movie. Of course he's gonna kill some people. This is Michael Myers we're talking about. He doesn't give two shits who you are. He will kill you. But I really thought James Jude Courtney, he just took what he did with the 2018 movie and just elevated it. He elevated it. And for that, I commend him for that. Just, also, of course, you do have to talk about the violence. The movie does live up to his name. He just goes around killing anybody. No one is off limits. No one is off the list. If he sees you, if you anywhere near him, he's coming for you. And he will brutally kill you. And just the way he violently kills people in this movie, it did not hold back. Is full bloody. You do get the full scenario, the full picture. Of course, the rest of the cast: Anthony Michael Hall, Will Patton. Of course, you have Dylan Arnold from the last movie and the two after films, and of course, the rest of the cast in this movie are good. The execution, for the most part, again, is good. But, of course, there are... And I do appreciate what this movie was trying to do. It was trying to go for something a little bit different, as opposed to playing it safe. But unfortunately, it does have the same problems as 2018, and I'm going to get into them. Because, of course, this is not a perfect movie. When it comes to the issues of Halloween Kills, okay, I did not mind some of the humor in the last movie, but there were a few moments where I thought the humor wasn't really needed in the last movie. I get it, you're trying to crack a joke or two since this is a horror movie, but with the comedy here, they just went a little bit too overboard with the comedy. I feel like if you would scale back on some of the humor this time around, it would have been much more defined for that. Sure, you can have some comedy, but not every 5 minutes. Also, this movie, it does underuse. What was the point of bringing back the Doctor from the last movie? Not Loomis, the female Doctor in the original film, because she wasn't very. She didn't do much. There is some weird decisions in terms of the editing when it it is short, but it just when you get into the way some scenes are a little cut, I feel like most of it isn't really fluent. I feel like there was a few extra scenes cut out, and we're gonna get into the elephant in the room.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
The stupid character decisions that most of these characters make throughout this movie. I know the series is not known for having the smartest of characters except for the original classic, but come on. We are beyond the point in slasher movies, especially horror movies, where we can have characters who use their heads. And a lot of the characters here, aside from a few, are just plain dumb. They either do something that gets themselves killed, or they just flat out don't freaking care about the situation they're in. Especially, this does have something to do with the mob, because the mob, they do make some very stupid decisions in this movie, and it definitely did take me out of it a bit. And I'm gonna be completely honest when I say this. I'm not the only person who said it. I won't be the last person to say this. I did not like how this movie decided to wrap it up. It just, yes, of course, you knew the death of this character was gonna happen, but just the way it just completely cuts off. I know this is the middle chapter of a trilogy, and believe me, if this was not a trilogy, I would have been fine with this, but you completely cutting this movie off before it reaches its kind of end goal. I'm sorry, that is not only just leaving audiences suspicious, but it also leaves things open-ended the way it does. It's not fully satisfying at all, and I wish there was a way they could have done that a little bit better. With that being said, I can say that I'm one of those people who's in the minority who does like Halloween Kills. I do think it delivers on what it set out to do for the most part. It definitely suffers from the humor. It definitely does suffers from some stupid character decisions, and some of the writing is even some of the execution at times isn't the most handled. And I will say it does suffer from a very abrupt ending that is not fully satisfying. But I can simply sit here and say the Halloween Kills, it isn't the worst one in the series. It's not one of my favorites, but I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. I do wish there was a lot of things here that was a little handled better. But I'm just willing to see how this goes and how this wraps up with Halloween Ends next year. And hopefully it is fully satisfying. That way you can do something else with this franchise for once. Maybe try the anthology thing again. But at the end of the day, I did enjoy Halloween Kills. It's not one of my best of the year, unfortunately, but I do enjoy Halloween Kills enough to give it my rating of a highly recommendation. If you are a Halloween fan, go in with an open mind, temper your expectations, and I think you will enjoy it. Most of you probably won't enjoy it, but that's just my thoughts on Halloween Kills. In the comment section down below, what did you guys think of it? And did you like it? Did you hate it? Or are you somewhere right in the middle? All my social media links in the description box down below. If you'd like to send money to my Cash App or Chime, you can email or DM me privately. If you'd like to send fan mail, you can DM me privately for that as well. Be sure to check out the Six Geeks podcast. Also, be sure to hit the like button, comment down below what you think, share this video, and be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get notified when new videos are up. There will be more videos coming this coming week, including my review for Dune, which I might review a little early. As always, you guys keep it cool, join the Epictasticness, and I will see you guys in the next review. Bye bye.